So yeah, Ja Morant is once again in the news for all the wrong reasons, bad decisions that aren't conducive to his career in the NBA. Let's get right into it. So the article says that he's been accused of 2 additional disturbing encounters besides the Pacers team bus incident, where allegedly there was apparently a gun involved in a red laser, a red beam. I'm not buying into that. Somebody probably had a FedEx pointer or whatever, Office Max pointer or whatever it is. And then also the allegedly him beating up a 17-year-old boy and pointing a gun at him. So let's go ahead and get into this article. It says NBA star Ja Morant was accused of violent or threatening behavior in 2 police reports, including previously unknown allegations that Morant threatened a mall security director 4 days later, and then the teenager reportedly reported to police that Morant punched him. Okay. So I guess this incident took place a couple days after his loss to the Golden State Warriors. His mom apparently got into an altercation. So let's go ahead and read that. So right after the Grizzlies lost a heated series with the eventual champions, the Golden State Warriors, 2 months after the loss to Golden State, Morant's mother was at Finish Line, a shoe store at Memphis Mall, when she got into a dispute with a store employee. According to the Memphis police report obtained by the Post, she called Morant, who arrived shortly after with a group as many as 9 other individuals. They were confronted by the director of mall security. Morant and his friends refused to leave after the guards' demands. Police arrived and a verbal confrontation escalated. The report says until someone in the group allegedly pushed the security director in the head. As the group was leaving the premises, Ja Morant said, "Let me find out what time he gets off." Police wrote in the report. The guard wanted to follow a report, police wrote, because he felt threatened by the statement from Ja Morant and had been assaulted by the person who pushed him. The disturbing parties left the scene and no arrests were made. The Grizzlies, NBA, and Morant's agent did not respond to the question about the incident. The security guard declined to comment. Okay, so my views on this is it's stupid. It's utterly stupid. Number one, your mom got into, I guess, an altercation with a Finish Line employee. Not going to speak on his parents. I don't know much about his parents. But that being said, apparently she called Ja Morant. Ja arrives with 9 other people. And then apparently you guys get into it because of something that happened with your mother, and your actions. This escalated into an issue with the mall security director. Now, the guy that put his hands on the mall security director, this basically tells me everything we need to know. Ja Morant's not rolling with the right group of people. Whatever crowd he's around, they're yes men. They're not telling him no. They're letting his ego he has an ego. I remember there's a video out there of him, like, I think he was at Waffle House or Denny's or something, and the waitress asked him who he was, and he's like, "I'm Black Jesus." So the kid has an ego. I get it. He's making a lot of money. He's very talented. And he's probably got people in his corner right now that won't tell him no. But he's making very poor decisions off the court, like I said in the beginning of the video, that aren't conducive for his career. This news story has been picked up by multiple media outlets. I even saw the Washington Post pick this story up, and that's never a good thing. When you're an NBA player and you're in the Washington Post for anything outside of sports, that's not a good thing. And it just poses the question as NBA fans, like, what's going on with Ja Morant? I find it funny. This dude's living everybody's dream right now. He's in the NBA. He's making millions of dollars. He has his own shoe at Nike, but he keeps finding himself in these situations where he's reacting poorly to them, leading to these news articles, right? He already has a civil suit with this 17-year-old he got into an altercation with in his home, which the district attorney decided not to place criminal charges on Ja Morant. Obviously, I feel like his status has a little bit to do with that, or maybe there just wasn't enough information on the case to actually charge him criminally, and it was in self-defense. I could definitely see that, and I looked into that case, and the details are very sparse. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt on that. There's not a lot of information about that. However, with this new incident where your mom has a dispute with a Finish Line employee, you arrive with 9 guys to confront a Finish Line employee, and then a mall security gets into it, and then you throw the threat out there, "Let me see what time he gets off." My question to Ja Morant is, why? So you can do what exactly when he gets off of work, Ja Morant? Throw away your future? Blackball yourself out of the NBA? None of those options end up well for you, especially when you make a scene like that. Because if something were to happen to that security guard, you know who they're going to come to? Ja Morant. You're the one that's in the NBA. This is your entourage. And not only that, you'll sacrifice the financial well-being you've worked very hard to create for your family. A lot of us are wondering, why is he acting like this? Is this new behavior? Did the NBA know about this before he got drafted? And I get it. He's a young kid. He's making millions of dollars. He's having fun. It's so easy to get caught up in the world, man, and live that type of lifestyle. I'm not going to say anything regarding his parents. Like I said, it's not my place. And I'm positive, like many other parents, they did what was absolutely best for Ja Morant. They seem like upstanding people, but I do have my questions when, you know, your mom's getting into it with a finish line employee. We don't know the details. Not going to say anything on that. But then, you know, obviously your dad gets into it with Shannon Sharp. And I know they cut that beef out pretty quick after that happened. But my thing is, bro, when you got to think about the long-term actions of this, people get kicked out of the NBA for far less. Carmelo Anthony not, DeMarcus Cousins is not even playing. I feel like DeMarcus Cousins is not playing based off of the things he did with the Sacramento Kings. Nick Young's not playing. All these stories that they tell us now and these things, the NBA pays attention to all of this. So my thing is, I would just absolutely hate for anything to happen to Ja Morant because of poor decision making and the crowd that he's around. Because again, a couple months ago in Houston, what happened? We just lost somebody very important to the community, to most of us. If you listen to the Migos, what happened to Takeoff? Wrong place, wrong time. And the world is crazy right now. People flip off the handle for the smallest little things. And I would hate for anything to happen to any more young men in our community because we're not making the right decision. And to me, it really just calls into question, like, Memphis, like, what's going on with your guy? What type of culture is going on with the Memphis Grizzlies? I understand these dudes are grown men and make their own decisions, but organizations typically have counselors or, you know, someone to handle player relations in situations like this, but they got to get this dude in check because this stuff is starting to snowball. You know, once it was the 17-year-old thing, everybody brushed it off. It's like, all right, you know what I'm saying? We don't know what happened. If it was self-defense, then okay, apparently the teenager said some off-the-wall stuff about threatening his family and stuff like that. Okay, right? Then it's the situation with the Indiana Pacers. Now it's this situation coming out. And who knows what else information is coming out. But my message to Ja, man, is just keep your head straight, man. Just focus on basketball. You're super talented. One of the best point guards in the NBA. One of the best point guards in the NBA. You got a very young, talented team. The Memphis Grizzlies obviously need this guy. Yeah, they're good. They've shown they can win without him. But if you watched him play last night, this dude had what, 28 points in the third quarter or something like that against the Lakers. This dude's very talented. I don't know what's going on, but he's got to make better decisions. But anyway, I just wanted to bring that news to you guys today, what's happening around the NBA. But let me know what you think in the comments. Until next time.